Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Medeek Truss plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I wanted to demonstrate square cut truss tails. So recently I've been asked to add this in, well actually it's been a couple of years really that people have been asking me for this, but let's just go ahead and throw down a truss here real quick. We're just going to use a common truss. So most of the time, I guess what I've seen in construction is usually, plumb cut truss tails or plumb cut rafter tails. But, there is occasion where you will have a square cut. So let's go ahead and show kind of what that involves here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use these default settings. All right, so we've got ourselves a roof, and this is, by default, it will do plumb cut tails on these trusses, right? Let's go ahead and just make a few additions or updates to this here truss. First of all, let's go ahead and make that a 612 roof, just so we have a little more vertical profile to work with. Okay, so there's our 612 truss roof. I'm going to actually let's see, turn off the gypsum here so we don't have to see that. Just make things a little more visible. And yeah, okay, so basically, this is our typical, I think what we'll do is probably turn off most of these layers here, just so we can see the trusses to start with. So let's go ahead and turn off the cladding and the sheathing and the wall sheathing and the wall cladding, just so we can see the skeleton underneath everything here. And let's go ahead and turn off the gutter for just 1 second. Okay, so there we go. So there's your kind of typical fink truss, common truss, plumb cut truss tails. That's called actually a drop configuration because the fascia or subfascia drops down to get in line here with the pitch of the roof. So let's go ahead now and edit this truss. I'm going to go edit truss assembly. Get our menu back over here. Fill onto my other screen. Okay, so where the update is right here under subfascia type, right? So come down here from basic options down to the advanced option a little bit. So by the way, to turn on the different subfascia type, you do need to have advanced options turned on for the roof, okay? And then you'll notice now that we have 4 different options here, and so square is the latest one. I'm just going to go ahead and hit update on that. And you can see now that these truss tails are square cut versus the typical drop, or yeah, I guess drop cut is the right word. Plumb cut. It's a plumb drop cut, really. All right, so that's really pretty basic. And by the way, this is updated for most of the truss types. Like I said, attic, scissor, cathedral, pretty much all of them that have the typical, 2-plane gable roof. I haven't yet added this to the mono pitch trusses yet, so that is something that needs to be done. But that will probably happen here shortly, now that I've got kind of the algorithm worked out. Okay, just a couple other things that I wanted to draw to your attention. So if we turn the sheathing back on, let's just take a look at that. So basically it lands just flush here with the fascia. Now, by the way, you can turn the subfascia off. Let's bring that back in here, and I'm going to turn the subfascia off, and it'll still do a plumb cut on these tails, right? And let's go ahead and turn the cladding back on, just so we can see what that looks like. Sorry, I'm a little slow here finding all my layers or tags. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of your typical open tails, open rafter tails, or open truss tails. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn our subfascia back on, and now we're going to turn on the regular fascia and soffit that we have, right? So go ahead and update that. All right, and then come down here and we'll go look at soffit and fascia. So let's turn on our fascia and our soffit. Actually, let's just do one at a time. And also, by the way, with this square cut configuration, really the only valid option, right now I have the box and the gable still enabled for this, but really the only valid option is angled. So I will probably disable the box and the gable options if you do a square cut tail, but for now I'm going to still give that some thought. So let's go ahead and turn on that fascia. And you can see now we have the same thing, but it's just we've got ourselves the fascia like that. And currently I have the rake boards doing kind of this plumb cut. You know, obviously it's not following the this here fascia here by the gutter, but I don't know. I think that looks better than having it follow. You know, cutting it off. Sorry, I gotta get my screen back here. Zooming in and out everywhere. Okay. You know, I guess one could have it trim that piece off. I don't know. I'm still going to garner a little feedback from everybody as to how they want that configured, or maybe I'll add an option in there to change that up. So anyways, that's the fascia board, kind of the finished fascia. And let's go ahead and turn on the soffit as well, just to show that. And that's an angled soffit. And so now you can see that you've got your angled soffit with a square cut tail to those trusses, right? And then let's go ahead and turn our gutter back on just so we can show how that all lands. And it's pretty much the same as the you know, plumb cut, just your gutter gets dropped right there. All right, yeah, let's turn the cladding and sheathing back off just so you can see from the top down what that looks like. Okay, so there we go. There's our soffit and fascia, our finished fascia boards along with our gutter and our soffit, of course, and that's what I call an angled soffit that basically follows the underside of those wrap or truss tails. All right, so that's pretty much it. Fairly simple update, really. Lots of code on my end, obviously, to make this happen because there's just it impacts quite a few modules within the this truss plugin. But there has been a lot of call for this, and so you know I really did want to get this put out there eventually. I'd kind of been putting it off just simply because, like I said, it just impacts a lot of the different different methods within the code base. So, yeah. Anyways, once again, guys, this update is courtesy of everybody requesting this feature. So, you know, go ahead, please email me, even give me a call, leave me a voicemail with updates or features that you want to see added to this plugin. And I will do my very best to make those happen. So once again, guys, thank you, and we will talk to you guys later.